Good morning and welcome to today's show. So in today's show, I'm going to be going through some key points when creating your WordPress membership site, because a lot of people just want to kind of dive in, but they haven't really thought about what the membership site is actually going to entail. And only once they start getting into it, do they realize that they haven't thought of some key points. So that's what I'm going to be going through in today's show. Hi, my name is Jason Kruger and I help heart-centered businesses build and automate their online marketing systems. So as I said, in today's show, I'm going to be going through creating your WordPress membership site and just a few key points that you need to kind of think about when you are building it. So I'm going to be going through those 3 key points, and I'm going to have some 2 bonus points as well. So make sure you do stick around to the end. So first step, when you're first creating your membership site, what is the first point that you should think about? And for me, that's actually going to be, what's the goal of your membership site? Why are you creating it? And I think that this is a key point before you even look to start to build a membership site. And a lot of people will say, it's because I've got online courses and I need somewhere to deliver them. And yes, that's a great goal. But I think sometimes you need to think a little bit further ahead of just your first course, for instance, because that's going to kind of navigate you into what platforms to use, and also what the cost could be in the future as well. So kind of thinking about what it is that you want your membership site to achieve is going to be a very important role, because yes, it's going to be a place where you are going to store all your membership content, but what content is it? Is it going to be just one-off courses? Is it going to be a lot of different courses which people need to pay for? Is it going to be a one-off type site? Is it going to be a subscription site? Or are you giving it as an extra to people that are your clients? There's all of these types of things that you need to think about, because it's, like I said, it's going to determine the structure of your site right from the beginning. Because, you know, if you're going to have it as a subscription model where people are going to just subscribe to it and have access to all the content, that's going to be set up slightly differently to if you are just having one-off courses. And are you going to house all your courses in one membership site? I've seen some people create separate membership sites for separate programs, but then that is their kind of flagship program, costs a lot of money, so they just have one site for that one course. But you might not have that. You might have smaller courses and you just want everything under one. So before you even start, think about the goal of the membership site. And it's not just going to be, yes, it's just going to house my membership content or my online programs. There's a little bit more to think about when doing that. And kind of point number 2. And for me, this is really kind of coming from the technical side, because I've seen clients, in my opinion, do it slightly the wrong way, and I'll give my reasons for that. And that's when you're creating your membership site, what URL are you going to be using for your membership site? And this can actually be broken down to a little bit more than just what address people are going to go to visit your membership site. And the reason for that is you can have it on what you would know as a top level domain, so just mydomain.com, mymembershipsite.com, or if you have your main domain that everyone visits and you just wanted to have it as a subdomain, you could have members.yourdomain.com, my.yourdomain hub, whatever it is. And coming from that, it's not just the URL, it's also where you're actually placing this membership site. And what I mean by that is, don't create your membership site within your main site. Always have it as a separate entity to your main site. And the reason I urge people to do this is because in the future, if you're looking to redesign your membership site, your main site, that's going to affect your membership site as well, because it's all intertwined. It's all on one site. And the other issue it's going to cause you is the navigation around your membership site. If it's your main site, you're going to have all your main navigation in there, but then you're also going to have your membership navigation that will appear when someone logs in. Sometimes that can be a little bit confusing because it's two separate navigations, and if they click on the wrong one, they go to the main site and then they try to get back to the membership. It can be kind of confusing, and having it all as a separate membership site allows you to control the experience for your end user, because you can create that experience. They don't have to worry about going into the wrong areas because the navigation is just for the membership site and you don't have to worry about anything else. The other thing is the other reason to have it on a separate domain as a separate site is if you've got a lot of members going into your membership site and you've got other people visiting your membership site from the web, you know, they've come across your website, it can cause your site to slow down, having that many people interacting with your site, and you might then need to upgrade web hosting and all that as well. But again, it's going to affect the user experience, not just only for your members, but for potential clients as well. So that's why I urge people to make sure that it is separate. Now, having a separate domain doesn't matter if you have it as a top level domain or as a subdomain. That is your own personal choice. I sometimes prefer to have it as a subdomain to my main domain, because then everything is under kind of one roof. There's no other domains that people have to think about. They just need to go to your main site, and you can even have a login button which takes them to the login screen for your membership site. And it's also easy to remember, because yeah, you could have the login that takes them to the main to the other domain. That will work as well, but just having everything under one domain to me makes sense, because it's all going to be branded the same. So when you are looking to create this membership site, have a look to see where you're going to place it, but also I urge you to have it as two separate entities, so that you have your main website and your membership site separate. Now, again, when it comes to creating the membership site, kind of the next point that I want to cover is to sketch out the ideas for your membership site. And this kind of ties in a little bit to point one, where you're having that goal for the membership site, because you're going to have that goal, but you're also then going to have to start sketching out ideas of what you want it to look like, how you want people to navigate around the site, what content you're going to be putting in there, because that's going to be very important. And when you are building out your membership site, and yes, a lot of that I'm trying to aim more towards WordPress membership sites, because that's what I do. I build all my membership sites on WordPress, because I can create a more bespoke site for my clients. And some of these ideas, yes, can be taken across to the other types of platforms, but you'll also then have to bear in mind that you are going to be constrained by how they display information. So that's why I like to use WordPress, because I can create a more bespoke experience, and with that, sketching out the ideas for your membership site, so how you're going to look to display the information, how you're going to create that user experience, so that you're going to have a main dashboard where, or you're just going to have a list of all your courses, for instance, all the content, or are you going to separate it out into different categories, so that it makes it easier for people to find that information. And again, this all comes down to when you are starting to create your membership site, you want to create the best user experience for the end user. I've been into far too many membership sites where it's difficult to navigate around to find the information that you're looking for, because it hasn't been well thought out before the site was even built. So you're trying to find that information and you just can't find it. They might even have a search function, but even that's not finding something exactly what you are looking for. So sitting down and sketching out the ideas you have for your membership site, but then also how you want people to navigate around the site. How are you going to structure your courses so that it's a great user experience, so that people can follow the content a lot easier? So when you are looking to create that membership site, that is probably one of the most important things, is making sure that you've sketched it out, that you know how you're going to have your content structured so it's easy to find. Now, I have two other bonus points that I want to cover, and the first one is deciding what features you want for your site as well. So it's not just sketching out how you want your content to be displayed, but also what features would you like your membership site to have. Now, if you've been into different membership sites, they might have different ways of displaying the information. They might have features like quizzes, certifications, gamification, all that type of stuff within their membership site. Now, is that something that you want in your site? Is that something that your audience is going to respond to? Because again, it's all very well saying, yes, I want all those features. But if you know that your audience isn't going to really be inclined to use them, then do you really need that feature? And again, it's looking to see, and listing out the features that you've seen, features that you like, and then potentially looking at having another type of list as features that my audience would probably use. Because as I said, there's no point in adding features to your membership site if it's never going to be used. And then my kind of last point, and again, this ties into sketching out the ideas for your site, and that is sketch out the structure of your membership site. So it does kind of fall into the sketching out the ideas as well, but actually sketching out the structure. So what do you actually want to be displayed on the dashboard when people are first coming to your site? Are you going to have a kind of a first login page so that when anyone first logs into your membership site, they get a welcome video, for instance, explaining the whole site and how to navigate around, and then they can then go onto the main dashboard. Those are types of things that you need to think about, and the structure of your membership site. When they go to the dashboard, are you going to have it in categories, or are you just going to list out all the courses that you're going to have? When they go to a course, what are the modules going to look like? Is your course a 2-module course? Is it a 10-module course? Are there lessons within those modules? Are they going to be workbooks? Are they going to be downloads? All of those things is something that you need to think about when you are creating the structure for your site, because once you've done that, it becomes a lot easier to build out and give the information to someone to say, this is how I want my membership site to be built. I want these features. This is the structure that I've thought about, and I'm sure they will be able to help you with the structure as well, and say, actually, this is probably going to be a better structure, but at least you've got something to work with. And it's not going to be so, I want a membership site and I've got courses, or I've got 20 videos I want on there. It helps you to structure the content, maybe think about it a little bit more, so that you are going to create something that people are going to use. Because at the end of the day, you could create this whole membership site, but if you haven't thought it through properly, when people visit it, they might be like, well, I can't find the information I want. It's not very useful. I can't do this, can't do that. And then they never visit it again. So make sure that you have structured it correctly, so that you know that people are going to enjoy your membership site and they are going to come back more than once and actually consume the content. So those are kind of my 5 key points for membership sites. I could add more and more to this, but I think before you even get started, these are kind of 5 key areas that you can think about, so that you know how you want your membership site to be constructed. And I hope that you have found those points useful. And if you have, then please look to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell, so that you get notified when I next go live, or when I next post a video. And if you are on the other platforms like Facebook, then make sure that you like the page as well, so that you will get notified of all that content as well. So the next section that I just want to quickly go through is some questions that I have found that people normally ask when they're looking to build their membership sites. So I have a few questions that I'm going to just answer now. If I haven't covered any questions that you would like answered, please leave them down below and I will make sure that I answer them for you. The other thing you can do is to look to join the community, and you can go to jasonkruger.com/community and sign up to the free community site, and you can ask more questions in there and I will be able to answer them in there for you as well. But there will be a lot of other content in there that you could have a look at, and again, if you are interested in something like that, to join a community where I'm trying to help people with their online marketing tech, then please go to jasonkruger.com/community. So the first question that I want to answer is building a membership site on WordPress. What plugins should I use to create it? Now, there are so many different plugins in there, and I have used a few of them, and I'm going to list them now, and you can go and have a look at these. The first one is Wishlist Member. I have used that previously, and it is a great plugin. And if you're just looking to create a nice looking membership site with all the kind of features, then that's a great option. The others that I know of and have used and looked at a few of these is MemberPress, Memberful, LearnDash, S2 Member, MemberMouse. These are all great plugins to create your membership site. Nowadays, when I'm looking to build my membership sites, I like to have a kind of a controlling hub for the membership sites. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you're going to be sending out marketing emails and people are going to be signing up to various lead magnets, you want to have one kind of dashboard where you can see all that information for your clients. So you can go to their contact record and have a look. And so the way that I normally build my membership sites now is kind of having either Keep, formerly known as Infusionsoft, or ActiveCampaign as the CRM marketing kind of engine. You know, that's going to do all the emails and you know, getting people in via lead magnets, but it can also control the membership site. And the plugin I use for that is called Membarium. Now there are other ones that are similar to that called iMember 360 and Access Alley. I've used iMember 360 in the past. I have looked at Access Alley, but I use Membarium because I use other kind of learning platforms on top of that to create the structures for my clients. But Membarium is the kind of security layer for my membership sites, and it's all controlled via either ActiveCampaign or Keep. And it makes it very easy because it's controlled via tags. So you can have kind of a security tag where you apply that tag, someone logs in, and as long as they've got that tag, they'll have access to that content. If they don't have access, they won't have that tag. But I can look at their contact record in those two systems and see what they have access to or what they don't have access to. And if, you know, they need access to something, I can then give that to them. So that's what I recommend, because otherwise, yes, you can with a lot of these other plugins add people to lists in, you know, ActiveCampaign or any of the other kind of autoresponder systems. But then yes, they're going to be on lists and things like that. But to have the true kind of control over having to the ability to have a look at their contact record and then see what they have access to, not just on my membership site, but what lead magnets they might have downloaded, which emails have they opened. You know, there's a lot more information that I can gather by using that. Now, the next question is, can I use other platforms for my membership site? You know, if you don't want to use WordPress, are there other platforms out there? And yes, there are plenty out there. There are a few that, again, that I've looked at, I've used, and they are Kajabi, which is not just a membership system. They do all the email marketing and all that as well. And other systems, another system like that is called Kartra. But then you have your, you know, kind of membership or course platforms like Teachable, Thinkific, Podia. These are just systems where you pay a monthly fee and you can just upload your content to them. They are great platforms. I'm not going to knock them. And, you know, some clients, they will use those because they don't need a more bespoke membership site, and that's what it is. With these platforms, you are going to be controlled mostly by how they display information or how they've got their systems set up. Yes, you can customize it to a certain degree, but never like how you'll be able to if you built your own membership site. And with a lot of these, again, depending on how many courses and all that you want to add to it, the price will go up. With a WordPress website, membership site, especially the way that I build my bespoke membership sites for clients, yes, there is an upfront fee to get everything built, but they can add as many courses, as much content to their site as they want, and the price won't, they've already paid for the whole setup. The only kind of monthly fee that they might incur is if they need hosting and the plugin, which is normally on some of them might be a yearly fee. If you're using something like Memberium, there is a monthly fee, but it's not too expensive. But that's where it's going to stay the same. That price will be the same. Whereas with the other ones, if you're going to add more and more content to them, then the price will go up. So that is, again, something that you need to look at when you are wanting to create a membership site, is what platform is going to be more suited to the ideas that I have. And if it's going to be one that could be growing and you're going to have different sections and you need different kind of dashboards for different types of clients and all that, then possibly the self-hosted system like a WordPress membership site would be better than a hosted solution like Kajabi, Thinkific, Teachable, all of those. So that's why I urge people to look at the structure of their membership sites, what they want to put in there before they even look at the platforms, because all the platforms are going to offer different things. Now, a third question that comes up is, what's the difference between a membership site and a community site? Now, for me, they are different in that a typical membership site is just going to be content based. You're going to be uploading your courses, your videos, your worksheets, whatever, into a membership site. People consume it, and that's it. It's just a learning center, basically. Whereas a community site is one where, yes, you can upload content to it, but there's more discussions around the content, and there are and these platforms are set up differently. A community site, one like I have for my community, for instance, is built on circle.so, has a very similar feel to a Facebook newsfeed potentially, but that I purposefully did that because a lot of my clients use Facebook all the time, and I didn't want something that was drastically different that's going to make it hard for them to use. It's going to be something that they're going to be familiar with. Yes, there's going to be different features, different ways of working in it, but overall the feel is going to be familiar. Now, a lot of people do create their membership site and then we'll have groups on Facebook, and that's absolutely fine. It works. I have lots of clients that do that, and it works, and there's no issue with that. But sometimes you do have some clients that don't have Facebook. It is rare, but there are a lot of people that don't want to have a Facebook account. So how do you help those clients when they don't have that? And that's why I didn't want to build my kind of community site or that using Facebook, because I wanted something a little bit different. I wanted to be able to show clients that yes, you can use Facebook, no issue with that, but there are alternatives out there if you want to build a community where there's no other distractions. And that, unfortunately, is what Facebook groups can be. When you're looking at content in there and you see someone else has posted something, you go off and then you're not looking at that content within that group. So there can be a lot of distractions. But like I say, the main difference between a kind of a membership site and a proper community site is the interaction that you might have within the site. Yes, you can have discussion groups and all that within a membership site, but it's not structured the same way as a community site, where it is more of kind of your own social network, for instance, for your business. So that's something that you can have a think about and see how would you apply that to your business. You could have a membership site and a community site and have them as two separate entities, or have something where you try and create something of a hybrid between the two. But that is going to be the difference between the two platforms, if you have a membership site and a community site. Another question that comes up is, when I build my membership site, should it be a one-time fee or a subscription model? Now, again, from a technical point of view, it's going to be very similar. You know, you're taking a payment and they're going to get access to the content. The only change would be that on a subscription model, if they don't pay, you need to then close the site off to them so that they can't access it until they've paid it again. Now, which one is better? Unfortunately, I can't answer that. It's going to be down to what it is that you're offering. What type of courses are you offering? What type of business model do you have? Are you giving access to your membership site as part of another service? So it's going to be that they pay for that service and then they get access to that. That could be a one-time fee. Or are you creating content on a monthly basis that people can have access to? But to have access, they need to have a subscription. You know, you've got to think about how you're creating that content as well, because having a subscription-based model will mean a lot more work than having a one-time fee. Because a one-time fee, they pay one price up front and then they get access to your site. And it doesn't matter if you're creating constant content for that membership site, because they've paid up front, and might be that you've created a big course and they don't need to have they don't need to pay again to access it. So a one-time fee would work there. But if you're having a monthly type program where there are webinars and all that type of thing, then you might want to look at a subscription model. But again, you need to look at the price points and how much your audience are going to be willing to pay for that access. Because if you set it too low, people might be put off because of the low price. And again, if you set it too high, they might not think it's worth it. So it's something to think about, and it's just going to be how you're looking to create your content. Now, the last question that I'll answer is, what content should I place on my membership site? And again, this is going to be dependent on what business model you have, what industry you're in. A lot of times when you are creating a membership site, it is going to be video content, maybe supported by worksheets. You could also create membership sites where they're just getting audio, for instance. You know, I've seen a lot of programs where it is just audio based, because that's the content that they create. Is you're able to do that. You know, there's going to be some content where you're not going to get away with just having audio, especially if you're doing tutorials and you have to show people things. You know, you can only do that as a video and maybe worksheets or step-by-step guide. So when it comes to creating the content or for your membership site, yeah, it's probably mainly going to be video, but there are other forms like audio, etc., that you could add in there as either bonus content, or if you just have a program where audio will suffice, then just create it as audio. You know, you need something that you know is going to be consumed. You know, at the end of the day, if you're creating a program, the people buying it need to be able to consume it in a way that's suitable for them, but also suitable for the content, so that you can explain it properly. So I hope that I've answered some questions that you might have been thinking about. If you have any further questions, please leave a comment down below, and I will make sure that I answer them for you. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell if you'd like more content like this, or when I next post a video. So I'm going to end it there today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.